Your girl gave birth to life for the second time. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing my labor and delivery story. Yeah, I've put it off for such a long time because I've been busy with these two kids of mine. My mother of two. I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. Whew. Anyway, if I keep looking there, that's where my screen is. If I keep looking down, that's where my baby is. So yeah, if you hear sounds, if you think you're hearing baby sounds, you are, because the baby is right here next to me. So yeah, so today I'll be doing my labor and delivery story. It's really one you want to hear. Like, it's not scary or anything that will put you off if you like having your own baby, but it's interesting, and I thought I should share how this girl had a wonderful entrance into the world. Yeah, so this is the labor and delivery story for my baby girl, my second baby, Alanna. She's here with me. Yeah, at the end she'll probably be asleep, but I'll be able to show you her, like what she looks like and everything. Yeah, so I'll start by, well, this is my second baby, so I had a VBAC. Yay! I really wanted a VBAC, so I'm glad I got to have it, and I'm glad I was allowed to have it by my doctor. So I'll give you a little bit of the background. In 2017, I had my son. He was an emergency cesarean section. That's a story for another day. I don't know if people want to hear it. This was almost 3 years ago, so yeah, I don't know. So I'll just give you a quick rundown. So I had my son in 2017. I was 41 weeks and 3 days. I was induced. I labored for 14 hours before I had the emergency cesarean. Yeah, he was not in the optimal position to further come down for him to come out of my birth canal, and I got to 7 centimeters and it was not progressing from there. Started bleeding, fetal distress, so yeah, I couldn't continue with the labor. He had to be born by a cesarean section, and yeah, he's here, nice, healthy, active little boy. I'm sure you've seen him on my Instagram. He has his own Instagram as well. I'll tag it here so you can follow him and see what he's up to. And yeah, so I'll start. So throughout my pregnancy, my doctor said, okay, I'll be able to try with what I wanted. Like, they gave me the option, do you want just the planned cesarean or you want to have a VBAC to try naturally? So he said, with my situation, with what happened last time, it's likely to happen again. But because of my age and my pregnancy was fine throughout, he was okay with letting me go through with a VBAC. So VBAC is a vaginal birth after cesarean section, in case anyone doesn't know. So yeah, I went through with that. So they said if I don't give birth by my due date, which was the 6th of December, then I'll have a cesarean section on that day. So my cesarean section was booked for the 6th of December 2019. So yeah, I did all my pre-op bloods and the pre-op medication you have to take before your operation. I took that, and yeah, so the day before that week, sorry, the Monday, when I went to do my bloods and everything, they told me the baby was too high up and I'm likely to just have my cesarean section, but you never know. So the doctor I saw gave me a sweep. It's like where they put their fingers, up there, and then they stretch your cervix to encourage the baby to come down and encourage labor to start. Nothing happened. I didn't have any, like blood loss or anything. Yeah, so I just thought, oh, well, I'll have my cesarean section on Friday. Yeah, on Friday. So I was like, okay. So now, fast forward to the day before my cesarean section, which is the 5th of December. The 4th of December, which was Wednesday, I was nesting so bad. I cleaned the house, I did all sorts. I was like, the carpet is dirty. I took it outside, I scrubbed it on hands and knees, like the real way. I scrubbed the carpet with my hands and knees and everything. And then that whole day I was feeling like, normal cramps, I guess. I was just like, I thought it's just the normal aches and pains. And so yeah, the day went by, I went to bed. And at like 4 a.m. I woke up with like so much pain. It just literally woke me up, and I was just like, oh my god, what, like, is this it? Like, I couldn't believe it because my cesarean was the next morning. So I was like, nah, it really can't be it. Like, I can't be going into labor right now. It should be just like the normal, like, Braxton Hicks. So yeah, I went back to bed. 30 minutes later, like 20 minutes later, it woke me up again. So I looked at the time and just 20 minutes had gone past. Okay, I went back to bed. 20 minutes later, again. So I was like, maybe something is happening. So I didn't wake up my husband at this point because I wasn't sure. Because last time when I had my son, I made everyone wake up and go to the hospital at 1 a.m. and my contractions stopped when I got there. So I didn't want the same thing to happen again. So even if they told me I need to come immediately my labor starts, I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to leave the house and go there and find the contractions have stopped. So the contractions came again. They were like regular, and then they were like every 10 minutes. So at 7 a.m. I decided to get the app, and when I got the app, they were every 10 minutes for an hour until like 8. So I woke up my husband and I said, I think something's happening, I don't know, I'm not sure. So he ran the bath. I went to sit in the bath. By the time I was sitting in the bath, my contractions were every 5 minutes. So they were getting really painful at this point, and I couldn't talk when I'm having the contraction, and they say you go to the hospital when you can't talk through your contractions. So I was like, okay, I think now it should be it. Like, I don't think I'll be feeling this much pain if it wasn't it, and if I'm feeling this much pain, then something must be wrong. So either way, we have to call the hospital. So I called the midwife, and they said, in the middle of talking to her, I had a contraction, and I just stopped talking. I couldn't say anything. My husband had to talk to them, and they're like, yeah, she really sounds like she is in labor, so you need to come to the hospital. You need to come to the hospital. And by the way, I downloaded the contractions app, so I could track my contractions, and I saw that it was 5 minutes in between each one. So yeah, I got out of the bath, dressed up, and we headed to the hospital. So yeah, by this time I was laboring from 4 a.m. and it was, I think, about 9, 10, somewhere there, when I realized, okay, it actually was the real thing. So yeah, I went to the hospital, and they're like, oh, you're a VBAC. You're a VBAC. You should have come immediately your labor started. It's because you're high risk and blah blah blah. So I was like, well, I didn't know if it was the real thing, because last time I left my house, came to the hospital, and then my labor stopped. So yeah. So now they said, oh, they went to check my file and everything, and they said, oh, your cesarean is booked for tomorrow. Do you still want to have it? Do you want to have it now? Like, we prep you for surgery and you go in now. And I was like, they asked me in the middle of a contraction. I was like, yes, please, yes, I want to go. Just tell me, like, because I just wanted the pain to stop. And then the next nurse came in and said, oh, do you want to continue with your labor? By this time, they had connected me to all the ECG and stuff. So the nurse came back and said, well, your contractions are really strong and regular. Like, the contractions are regular, and I can see that they're coming on very strong. So you're likely to give birth soon, like, if you continue the labor. So I was like, okay. So I said, okay, I want to continue, like to have the baby naturally. So they said, okay. So they took me to breastfeed by this point, and I was like, can I have gas and air? You know, like the gas you breathe in. Well, it doesn't take the pain away, but it just like takes your mind away from the pain. So that way you don't think about the pain. It's like laughing gas, you know, like you're high on something. So yeah, it takes your mind off everything. You're just like woozy. So yeah, I was taking the no before I was taking the gas and yeah I was taking the gas and air, and I was on the birthing ball, so I was bouncing on that ball for the whole time I was at the hospital, like for maybe by that time I was in labor for like 4-6 hours, somewhere there. I was on the ball, I was walking around, I was squatting, I was sitting. You know, I really wanted her to get out quick. Like I didn't want to sit on the bed or anything. So by this point, yeah, I was in labor for like 7 hours, and I was exhausted. Like I couldn't sit on the ball anymore. I couldn't sit up anymore. I was just leaning on. I had a student midwife with me throughout the pregnancy, so from like 16 weeks. I was with her. She would come with me to all the appointments and all that. She was a nurse already, but then she was now doing midwifery, so she was a great help. She would massage my back during contractions and all that. So yeah, at this point I was exhausted. Around 4:30, 5 p.m. I asked for the epidural. I was just like, for me, if I need to push this baby out, I need energy. Like I was drained, so drained. I could barely keep my head up. I could barely keep my eyes open. So I was just like, for me to push this baby out, like I need pain relief. So at like 4:35, somewhere there, they gave me pain relief. I was in like heaven for like 1.5 hours, 2 hours. So yeah, when they gave me the epidural, my contractions stopped. So they kept coming to check, and they're like, no, I think your contractions have stopped. Like, yeah, I think your epidural has made your contractions stop coming. So I was like, oh my god, here we go again. So yeah, what they did was they broke my water. So they're like, yeah, maybe it will get things going and all that. So they broke my waters, and then like 30 minutes passed, and she said, okay, I can see something kind of picking up. I was like, oh, okay, that's good. So, and by this time I had slept because I had no pain at all, zero pain, just discomfort. So I had no pain, so I managed to rest for like an hour. I could rest, like 45 minutes, an hour, somewhere there. And because she broke my waters, my contractions came back with a bang. When I tell you they came back with a bang, I mean it. The epidural stopped working. I could feel all the contractions. I woke up and I was like, please, can I have the gas? Like, my contractions are back. Like, I can feel everything. So they topped it up, but then it still didn't take the pain away. So I was just like, oh my goodness, the worst pain ever. Like, I was feeling the contractions before. I don't know if it's because I rested, they went away and they came back, but it was so painful. And I think breaking the waters dropped her head much lower, meaning the contractions came back like really strong, and I was just like, oh my god, no. But anyway, they topped the epidural up, nothing. I said, no, this thing is not working. So the anesthetist came, and he said, okay, maybe she needs like a stronger dose. So I was like, okay. They put another one, nothing. So at this point now, the unthinkable happens. Unthinkable. Okay. So the unthinkable happens. Yeah, my son woke up, so I have to record with him here, otherwise I'll never do it. So yeah, the unthinkable happens, guys. There was a power outage. Okay? In Australia, a power outage in the hospital. So it means because I was a VBAC, they said I need the theater ready in case anything happens. If my uterus ruptures, I need to go to theater. So yeah, there was a power outage, so they had to transfer I had to transfer hospitals to a hospital that has that could take me in case I needed to go to surgery. So they called. I went to another hospital. So the hospital said, "Oh, before she leaves, you have to examine her." So I was examined, and I was 7 centimeters dilated. So yeah, I still had 7, 8, 9, 10, 3. I still had 3 more centimeters to go. So they're like, okay, yeah, that's loads of time. Considering the amount of time I've been in labor, for me to get to 10, yeah, there's enough time to go to the other hospital. So yeah, by this time I could feel everything. I was in so much pain. Whatever they were telling me was going in one ear, out the other. I was just telling my husband to just deal with everything. Oh yeah, we went in the ambulance and we got to the hospital. It's like about a 20-minute drive, yeah, somewhere there. Maybe it was more, maybe it was less. For me, it felt like forever, you know. So yeah, and I was just like, oh my god, can this drive be any longer? So I kept asking, how longer? How much longer? How much longer? And they kept saying, yeah, we're almost there, we're almost there. Because in the ambulance, all I can see is lights, and there's no window for me to look out of. All I can see is medication, tubes, and all sorts of things. So I couldn't see, and there's only like a bit where I could see like trees, or I could see if we were near buildings or anything, yeah. But yeah, we got there. Yeah, so we arrived at Jundala, and so I was with the midwife in the ambulance. The midwife was monitoring the baby's heartbeat, because with the VBAC they have to monitor the heartbeat throughout the labor. So she was monitoring the heartbeat manually in the ambulance. And she kept asking me, do you feel pressure? Do you feel pressure? I'm like, no, I don't feel pressure. She's like, do you feel pressure? I'm like, no. Again, after like 10 minutes, she asked me, do you feel pressure? Like, if you need to push, you just push. And I'm like, hell no, my baby is not getting born in this ambulance. Like, I'm going to get to the hospital. But genuinely, I actually was not feeling pressure. Later, the next day when I saw her again, she's like, I kept asking you because you were making sounds that told me like you were ready to push, like you were, you know, you were ready to push. So I was just like, anyway, I'm glad the baby wasn't born in the ambulance. But we got to the hospital. We got into breastfeed. I was like, I need to vomit. Like, I need to vomit. Give me the vomit bag. Before I could even, I just said, I'm going to vomit. And I just sat up and grabbed the blanket that was covering me and vomited. Like, TMI maybe, but come on. A labor and delivery video is already TMI. So yeah, I vomited and my midwife was like smiling at me. I'm like, why are you smiling? And she's like, when you vomit, it's a sign that you're about to give birth. You're fully and you're ready to give birth. I was like, oh, okay. So she's like, yeah, they examined me and I was 10 centimeters, and they didn't say anything because my husband wasn't yet in the room. He was lost somewhere in the hospital because it was such a big hospital. He went here, they're like, oh no, it's not this area, it's that area. Oh, it's not this area, it's that area. So he finally managed to get there, and by this time my legs are already up on the I don't know what they're called. My legs are already up, and the midwife, the doctor is already like in the front of me because they're like, okay, just do a practice push just to see. So I was like, okay. So by this time he walks in and my legs are already high up in the air. And of course I didn't even notice that he walked in, and then he was holding my hand like on this side. My midwife was on my right, he was on my left. So yeah, and then when I opened my eyes, I was like, oh my god, you're here. just like you're like in a daze. So they examined me and they said I was 10 centimeters. Yeah, I didn't know. And then I asked the midwife, I was like, how many centimeters am I? She's like, 10, you're ready to push. We're just waiting for your husband. But if you feel the urge to push, just push. So I was like, okay. So yeah, I rewinded a bit. So yeah, he was already in the room now he's already in the room. And I'm on the gas and air, asked for the gas and air because the epidural wasn't working. So they're like, the midwife was like, oh yeah, maybe because your body is in overdrive. The midwife that I was with at the other hospital came with me. So she's like, maybe your body is in overdrive, so anything that's topped up onto you maybe your body is just not going to accept anything because your body is in control at this point. So I was like, oh my goodness. So anyway, so yeah, when they told me I was 10 centimeters, I started crying as in I was bawling my eyes. I was like, oh my god, I was ugly crying. I was like, oh my god, I thought I couldn't do it. And I was looking at my husband, I was like, we did it, babe. And they're like, oh, you still have to push the baby out. I was like, I know, but I got to 10 centimeters. You know, like it was really an achievement for me considering what happened last time. So I was really, really happy. So yeah, I pushed maybe 4 or 5 times. The doctor was in the room because I was having a baby, but the doctor was there, and she's like, okay, because you need to get the baby out in the next contraction because your baby's heart rate is dropping to like in the 90s each time you have a contraction. So she's like, and that's really low, so the baby has to come out in the next contraction. So in the next push, gather all your energy and give it your all, like you have to push her out in the next contraction. So and you know, like when the heads are like, okay, so Teresa, so your baby's heart rate is going really low in the last 2 contractions, so in the next one you really need to push and she really needs to come out. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. So yeah, I pushed, and the first time they said, okay, she's come out here, her head is there, they can see her hair, she's got a lot of hair and all that. And so they had to say, so because she has to come out with the next push, we have to use forceps. In one ear, out the other. I didn't even give a damn what they would do for that baby to come out, but the baby had to come out. So yeah, they used forceps. I pushed and the baby came out. The baby's head came out. They're like, oh, the head is out. Feel her hair. Bring your hand. Feel her hair. And I was just looking. I'm sure it's like, this girl is crazy. I touched her hair. I was like, oh my goodness. And so yeah, so now when her head came out, she turned to the left and got stuck underneath her shoulders got stuck underneath my pelvic bone. So they're like, oh, so Teresa, looks like your baby is a bit stuck, so we have to do an episiotomy. We have to make a cut so that we can be able to pull her out. So I was like, okay, like, you know, like when you're in that situation, whatever someone is talking to you about, you're really not going to hear it. Like, you're not going to hear it. Whatever they can do, as long as they're not hurting your baby, whatever they can do to get the baby out, they'll do it for the best interest of you and the baby, to keep both of you safe. No, Baba, how can you be making such sounds? So yeah, so they call, what is it called? Shoulder dystocia. No, Baba. So yeah, shoulder dystocia. So she had shoulder dystocia. So she came out and she was born. They put her on me. It was amazing. And it's just immediately she came out, all my pain went away. Like, I threw the gas and air, held her. It was just amazing. It was just an amazing experience, you know. I can't even begin to explain how it feels like. So immediately she came out, all my pain went away, and my legs were now just like flopping. Like I couldn't feel my legs anymore. I couldn't feel my legs anymore, and by this point now, you know, they wait for the placenta to come out. They're like tugging on it a bit, and they now put the injection in my leg, because last time I had postpartum hemorrhage, so I lost like 2,000 mils of blood. It's like 2 pints. So like any more than that, any more than that, and they'll have to give me a blood transfusion, and they didn't want that. So yeah, they gave me the injection that stops the blood loss and also helps the placenta come out. They gave me 2. Yeah, I think it was 2. I can't even remember. So yeah, at this point I couldn't feel any of the pain. The doctor came. He was stitching me up. When they're stitching me up, the doctor comes. They give you back the baby. You're doing skin to skin. The doctor comes and she's explaining to you like what happened during the birth. Yeah, so she was born at 7:32 p.m. 10 minutes difference with my son. He was born at 7:21. She was born at 7:31. So she was born. She's here. She's healthy, and it was one hell of a ride. So yeah, after she was born, after it was stabilized, I had a shower, dressed her up, you know, they took her weight, gave her shots and all that, and then we were transferred back to the original hospital I was admitted at. So yeah, they transferred us back, and yeah, it was when I think of it now, I think for the people around me, it must have been quite, I don't know, scary, or they're like, oh my goodness, what's happening? But yeah, so I'm glad she came naturally. That's what I really wanted. But that's my advice for people going into labor, is just don't be fixated on what you really want. You know, you're like, you want this, and because you never know what's going to happen, and you don't want to be disappointed. At the end, you can have postpartum depression because of, you know, things not going your way and you're really disappointed and all that. I'm happy that she was born the way I wanted her to be born, and yeah, they're both healthy babies, active, and yeah, I'm glad. I'm a mother of 2. I still can't believe it. Wow, a mother of 2. Yeah, so my little baby girl, she's here. She's here. This is her. Say hi, Mama. She's 3 months old now. 3 months old today. Say hi, Mama. Say hi. Say hi. Say hello. So yeah, here she is. She's energetic. She's a really good baby. She just cries for food and to sleep. Yeah, she's really good. I'm glad and I'm blessed. I'm happy. I thank God I've got healthy babies. And yeah, here she is. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the story. Sorry if it's too long, but yeah, I can't cut the story short. But yeah, and thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and yeah, more videos will be coming to you soon. If there's specific videos you want to see, comment down below. Tell me what you want to see. I know one video that is coming up is a hair video, so yeah, stay tuned for that one. And yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and yeah, say bye.